Hello, everyone. It's me again. I'm back talking about why I go to church. This is part 8. I go to church because of the buttons. I've heard it said that if someone can push your buttons, that means that you're not dead yet. And as I am going through life, as I am learning to develop myself, I'm learning that I still have some buttons that get pushed. If you have children, you can relate. You will definitely be able to comprehend what I'm saying, that there are some buttons that you need to work on. So if someone can push your buttons, that means you're not dead yet. And when I say dead yet, I'm not talking about literally dead under the ground, 6 feet under dead. I'm talking about dead to yourself, in those areas when you can mature and see things and look past things, when people can say things and you can let it go, that means you're dead. So I go to church because I still need to learn how to die daily. The Apostle Paul talks about dying daily. And when I go to work, I have learned that I am not dead in some areas. There are still some people that are able to push my buttons. There are still some people that are able to get under my skin. But you have to learn that you cannot never allow someone to have that much control over your life that they ruin your whole day because of a button they pushed. So I go to church so that I can learn how to manage those emotions, to learn how to manage those buttons, to learn how to manage every situation, because the Bible truly can help you with every situation. There is a story that you can put in context to your life. There is an example. I mean, there's 66 books. I don't know how many words are in the Bible, but there are a lot of words. There are a lot of stories. There are a lot of truths. And in Ecclesiastes, it talks about there is nothing new under the sun. So there is nothing new under the sun that hasn't already been going through, that someone hasn't already dealt with. And there is nothing that God has not already provided a solution or an answer for. So I go to church to work on the buttons. I am learning more and more that I need to die to myself. That is to die to my flesh nature, because in your carnal nature, you are governed by your 5 senses. You are governed by your emotions. But unfortunately, emotions have expiration dates. I look at life in 5-year cycles. The things that are important to me now, 5 years from now, probably won't be important. Just as an example, when I was in high school, the most important thing was getting out of high school. When I got to college, the most important thing was, wow, I need to get a job. Once I got a job, I thought the most important thing was obviously having a career and maybe finding a place to live. And then once I found a place to live, 5 years later, it's like, wow, maybe I want to start a family. So for me, it's about cycles. What's important to you at one point in life will not be important to you at another point in life. I remember being in college thinking like, wow, what I would give to be back in high school, because it was so much easier. So emotions have expiration dates. And if you want to stop riding emotional roller coasters, you must learn to die to your flesh, die to your senses. That's not to say that you're inhuman and that you don't have emotions. It's just that you are learning to control your emotions. So I continue to go to church so that I can learn to control my emotions, that I can learn to control my tongue. The Bible talks about that the tongue is unruly and it's something that no one can tame. But the reality is life and death is in the power of the tongue. And in the Bible, it talks about how can blessings and cursings come out of the same mouth. So when I go to church, I am learning how to tame my tongue. My wife can't tame my tongue. My children can't tame my tongue. The only person that can tame your tongue is yourself. And when you begin to learn that your words have power, that your words begin to create things. So everything you in your life you have created because you have spoken it. So if you wanted to be a doctor, you're a doctor because you said it enough in your heart and in your mind, and then you verbalize it and you became a doctor. If you are successful, it's because you said it. And if you're not successful, it's probably because you've been saying a lot of negative things. Well, one thing that going to church does is allow me to think on the positive things, not to focus on the negative things, not to focus on the things that have happened, but think about what it's going to be. I often hear quoted, praise God from your position and not your condition. So by going to church, I learn my position, and I don't let my condition stop me, because things are not always what they seem to be. You can be having a bad day, and it's natural, because where I'm at today, it's raining. I was in traffic for an hour and 40 minutes this morning. That's enough to have a bad day. But by going to church, I've learned to say, wow, this is a great day. Thank you for the rain. Thank you for allowing me to arrive here safely. Thank you for allowing me to still have a job. Thank you for allowing me to have a car to ride in. Thank you for the gas that you allowed me to have. Thank you that I have a car that has a working stereo. Thank you that I have a car that has heat. Thank you that my brakes still work. Thank you that all my lights work. It's about perspective. So I go to church to manage the buttons that can push me, because there was a time that sitting in traffic would take me over, would really take me over. But I am learning to count it all joy. I'm learning to count it again. So part 8, I go to church to manage my buttons, to manage how I deal with people, to manage my emotions. So I encourage you to get in an environment that can help you manage your buttons, whatever they are. If it's, how to manage your stress, if it's learning how to control your tongue, if it's learning how to manage how you treat people. I just encourage you to go somewhere where you can be fed, because it is important to eat. It is very important to eat. And I'm not talking about naturally, I'm talking about spiritually. It's important to eat, because the real you is the spiritual you. Have a blessed day, and thank you for your time.